Have you ever walked into a room and instantly felt the tension in the air? Or, on the flip side, an undeniable radiating sense of calm? We usually just brush this off as a random vibe, right? But what if it's something far more tangible? What if beneath our skin, way beyond our bones and our cells, there's a vast, hidden architecture operating right now?
Okay, let's dive into this, because to really understand what powers the entire human experience, we actually have to look past the basic chemistry we all learned in high school biology. We need to explore the physics of who we really are.
Section 1. The Electric Human. Let's start with the hard, measurable science behind our internal wiring. You see, we're not just these purely chemical machines walking around. We are highly electrical systems. Every single thought you have, every step you take, every core memory you recall, it's all governed by your nervous system. It's this sprawling, incredibly complex electrical network. I mean, think of your nerves as actual living wires. They're constantly carrying these bioelectrical signals from your brain all the way out to your fingertips and back again at literal lightning speed.
And operating deep within this network is your autonomic nervous system. Now, this whole operation happens completely under the radar, totally below your conscious awareness. It's back there regulating your vital organs, secreting hormones, and literally governing your raw emotional states. It's basically a continuous two-way dialogue connecting your brain, your heart, and your body. So what we usually perceive as a sudden shift in our energy is actually a profound subconscious physiological response bubbling right up from this exact system.
Section 2. The Heart Field. So, moving beyond just the general nervous system, let's look at the absolute powerhouse, the single most powerful electrical generator in the human body. For decades, we kind of just assumed that brain was the undisputed king of our bioelectric system. But the measurable reality? It's starkly different. Get this, the heart's electrical field is about 60 times greater in amplitude than the electrical activity generated by the brain. And its magnetic field? Try more than 100 times stronger. It's absolutely wild. That means your heart is generating this continuous donut-shaped magnetic field, which in physics is known as a torus. And because magnetic fields are incredibly hard to block, this torus extends up to 3 feet around your body in every single direction. It literally acts as your own personal, fluctuating energy space, radiating outward into the physical world around you. And here is where it gets absolutely fascinating. This isn't just some static energy field. It's carrying active information. On one hand, we have the really smooth, coherent rhythm of a heart experiencing appreciation. But on the other, we see this erratic, totally disordered spectrum generated during feelings of anger. Our distinct emotional states are actually encoding different rhythmic patterns right into our surrounding electromagnetic field. We are, quite literally, constantly broadcasting our internal state to the world.
Section 3. Ancient Eastern Knowledge.
Now, while modern biomagnetism has only recently been able to measure these fields, human beings have intuitively sensed them for thousands of years. Just look at the concept of the Tao, the ancient Chinese middle way representing the natural life force. It teaches that energy is divided into a fundamental pair of opposites, yin and yang. The legendary psychologist Carl Jung was absolutely fascinated by this. He really saw a man as a microcosm, like a physical vessel that has to unite these powerful opposing psychological and energetic forces to achieve any kind of true wholeness. In fact, Jung asked, how else is man to attain this realization but through the conflict of opposites? It was this profound realization for him that grappling with these opposing internal energies, feeling the tension between them, is exactly how we discover and forge our true nature.
We see this so vividly in the concept of qi, too. In traditions like qigong, energy is actively manipulated through intention, breath, and physical movement. There's this ancient saying, where the mind goes, the qi goes. What these traditions are essentially doing is using focused breathing and movement as a biological generator, intentionally directing and managing the body's hidden inner energy network.
Section 4. The Science Debate.
So, the crucial point is, how do we bridge this massive gap between ancient philosophy and modern biophysics? Well, we have to carefully separate what is measurable from what remains a spiritual tradition. On the science side, we absolutely have the heart's electromagnetic torus field. We have synchronized biosignals and proven, documented physiological changes. But then, on the theoretical and spiritual side, we have concepts like interconnected universal energy, metaphysical blockages, and those subtle, invisible vibes. As we explore all this, it's vital to impartially recognize both. While the broader cosmic concepts are largely theoretical or spiritual, the bioelectric phenomena, those are undisputed biological facts.
But let's look at a really concrete overlap between the two, the microcirculation link. Medical researchers have actually found that focused mental intention, exactly like the kind practiced in Qigong, can measurably change the blood flow in the body's absolute tiniest vessels. This is a direct physical manifestation of that ancient idea that intention guides energy. Your mental focus directly impacts physical microcirculation, which, by the way, is fundamentally linked to your overall cellular health and disease prevention.
Section 5. Optimizing human energy.
Because understanding our hidden energy system, that's really only half the puzzle. Harnessing it for peak human performance is the ultimate goal. And Carl Jung understood this implicitly. Back in 1922, he built the Bollinger Tower. It was this primitive stone retreat out in the Swiss woods, completely devoid of electricity. And he didn't go there to just take a vacation. No, he went there to harness and focus his internal cognitive energy, completely free from the visual and mental noise of city life. And by doing that, he literally revolutionized the entire field of psychology.
Author Cal Newport brings this exact concept perfectly into the modern era with his book Deep Work. Newport looks at how elite performers manage their cognitive energy today, right now, in a world that is constantly trying to fragment our attention. You know the drill: network tools, endless notifications, social media, all just draining our mental batteries.
Newport draws a really strict line between two types of output. First, there's deep work. This is distraction-free concentration that pushes your cognitive limits to their absolute peak. It generates massive value. But then you have shallow work. That's all those non-cognitively demanding logistical tasks we do while we're distracted, constantly checking emails, scrolling, just reacting to things. Shallow work totally drains our energetic system without producing any truly meaningful results.
So, what does this all mean for us? How do we actually apply this? Well, first we have to acknowledge that we are bioelectric beings, naturally emitting measurable fields of energy. Second, we really need to actively manage our emotional output. We have to recognize that states like appreciation create coherent, optimized energy rhythms, while stress and anger create chaotic ones that just drain us. And finally, we must ruthlessly protect our cognitive energy by prioritizing deep, distraction-free focus.
As we look forward, pushing the boundaries of future human potential, we might actually find that we've been looking in the wrong direction all along. The greatest source of power may not be outside us. It may be the systems already operating within.